Recording?
Do you want to talk about do you want me to tell you?
No. Welcome to the
Kiki
and Cowboy Misadventures podcast. All right. I normally would say welcome to Misadventures of.
Yeah, you messed it up. There go the dogs.
Yes. Welcome to the Misadventures of
Kiki
and Cowboy.
I would say the Misadventure podcast, like as we're sitting in the kitchen and just chaos is happening all around us.
Actually, we're in the dining room. The kitchen's over there.
Oh.
This is where
if you quantify it that way.
This is where we dine on the food. The kitchen is where we kitch the food.
Fair.
All right. So, my darling Kiki.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, well, we have a couple of things that we could discuss. So I'm thinking, have you ever experienced a time when
Yes.
you were
Still yes.
given instruction
No.
and things went awry because
you didn't follow.
you followed the letter of the law?
Oh, because the instruction was the only thing that mattered. Well, we do.
We do.
We do.
But first, before we dive
said
into
I
it,
do.
Yes, before we said I do. But I was going to say before we even get that far.
Okay, we're not getting very far then.
No, we never are. That's the
we're
whole
literally
point.
35 seconds into the
That's
podcast.
the whole point of this.
Before we get really far.
So it's a Friday night.
Somewhere.
Somewhere here.
But also somewhere else.
And so it's April. It's beautiful in Texas. And on a Friday night,
elsewhere. Yeah.
I generally make us some drinks.
Yes.
Tonight, I did not make us any adult beverages. I made one for myself, but you already had an adult
I
beverage.
did.
And we sat out and enjoyed the
Yep, I was enjoying a
beautiful
Texas spring-ish.
Yes, the few moments that we do get
in between this and
so how are you feeling after that? We also
the baking
it's
summer.
Also a big treat in our house. Every Friday we do pizza.
Yes, basically a pizza party here at the Kiki and Cowboy
yes,
house.
and don't nobody get too excited. We're talking grocery store pizza. Yes, that is where it is at in our house.
There are quite a lot of choices now in the frozen pizza section.
So
it used to be real garbage.
It used to be terrible.
Now it's just above that level.
It is just above. And quite honestly, I'm one of those people. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that's like, if I'm going to spend money on a pizza, and I'm kind of this way with a hamburger, I would say.
I want to see it in a solid state.
No. I would say it needs to be super high end. Otherwise, anything in the middle
is garbage.
You might as well just have a grocery store pizza and save yourself a couple of bucks.
Anything in the middle has been prepared by a teenager.
So now,
anyway,
where do you sit on that spectrum?
I sit wherever you bring the
pizza. Well, that's because
to me.
I go and do the shopping, so you don't have a.
I don't really have an opinion there.
You really don't.
I enjoy the fact that the pizza arrives.
I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say if you could just get delivery pizza.
Oh boy, this is a big one.
Like not go, like I'm like, if I'm going to spend money on a pizza, it needs to be a dine-in restaurant atmosphere.
Yep.
Amazing. Like it needs to be amazing. Like we have a local restaurant that we love.
Pizzeria
we go to
Testa. Yep.
every once in a while.
Frisco, Texas. Pizzeria Testa.
Like the best. And it's usually like an unusual, like a fig and prosciutto or there's a couple of different combos that we like there. There's a pesto and something else that's like amazing.
It's wood-fired pizza.
Yeah.
Created and prepared by people who
exactly.
And they do it in front of you, which is important because if it's going to be a teenager.
I don't know.
Well, I just like
really
to
care.
see, you can see the ingredients.
But it is kind of fun that you get to just watch
them.
It's
a bit of a festive
do it, especially if you sit at the bar, right? They're preparing it and firing it there.
And bringing
so like, I'm like all in on the restaurant sit-down pizza.
That kind.
And anything outside of that, I hit things on our kitchen table and they just fall off here.
Yep.
I might as well just have grocery store pizza.
Agreed.
So that means like any kind of your delivery joint, here in Texas, Papa John's, Domino's.
The delivery are almost sub the stuff you can find at the
well, especially when it comes to like cost, ROI, return on, purchase.
Quality ingredients,
So yeah.
air
So
quotes.
what, do you have a preference? Like, I know you have a current preference as to your particular brand and what you like.
I like it to be
Flat crust
flat crust, no marinara, or very
or
limited.
thin crust. I mean, flat crust. Of course,
Yeah.
all pizzas are flat.
Well, they're round from a certain perspective.
Okay, I guess.
You stand them up on their side.
Boy, the ingredients would not stay on at all.
Well, I mean, if they're frozen, they stay for a little bit, but not at high speed.
Right.
No, I prefer a meat or two kinds of meats,
Mm-hmm.
a cheese or two kinds of cheeses, and a thin crust and limited sauce.
Limited sauce.
Yes, very very limited.
Somebody in their
Somebody gets heartburn.
experience has decided that the
Little
life
bit of-
experience has crept up on us.
Marinara makes.
I'm actually a
Cowboy
fan
little bit
of like a
icky.
white pizza that has no sauce. And I don't know about any of the listeners out there, but
So just
I
cheese.
love a veggie pizza.
Oh yeah,
Like I very much enjoy a veggie pizza.
there's nothing wrong with a proper veggie.
Yeah. Although says the guy who eats
Who wants
almost
meat
entirely
and cheese
meat.
and bread?
Yes.
I'll have a salad. I've been known to have a salad
Yes,
regularly.
but a salad on a pizza?
no,
no.
that's not.
I don't
meant-
think
that's
you're
not
gonna
meant
do
to
that.
be. Yeah.
Last question before we move on to the topic.
Oh yes.
Chicken, is
Yes.
it illegal on a pizza? Or maybe I should say chicken and or pineapple, because those seem to be controversial topics. Would you eat a pizza with chicken or pineapple?
I have been known. Well, so a barbecue chicken pizza.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my favorite.
And-
if I'm not doing a veggie, barbecue chicken is like
I
up
think
there.
I think you could sneak pineapple on a barbecue chicken pizza.
I love pineapple on a pizza.
Therefore-
Even a savory pizza. I love
Therefore,
pineapple.
I think those are in play.
I love all things controversial.
Yes, I think those are in play.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
well, anyway,
it'd be
that
almost
was
as if we're
the.
married and we agree on things.
Oh, we need to quit that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
We need to move on to our topic. So we were moving in. I've wasted time, but we were moving into our topic
It's not
about.
wasted.
Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Our I do's.
Yes.
We said that we were going to have a series all about
This is the second
our,
or first, depending on what listening
our
order.
long weekend getaway. Well,
Which became
it was
a-
actually a week. It was more
a
than
planned long week
yes,
getaway to Joshua Tree.
yes, yes.
We had a couple of select surprise, I'm air quoting, surprise guests.
Guests. Yes.
One of them is a now retired, I guess you could say, back in the workforce from a career in the Marines.
Yes. I need like harp music so that everybody can be like, imagine if you will.
Oh, let's. Well,
And
if the editor remembers
We're
that,
we're actually
you're hearing harp music right now.
is it
Pretend.
okay?
Yeah. Let's pretend you are.
We're at the vicinity.
I think I can probably.
So
accommodate
we're gonna jump around when we talk
you go.
about our lovely wedding.
you. I got you.
Oh, there you go. See, listen.
There you go.
I love it.
You're welcome.
So imagine if you will, everyone.
Let me do that again.
Thank you,
Yes, you're welcome.
dearest. We are in Joshua Tree. It is about 50 degrees and a little bit windy,
Little overcast.
So
which
it
actually
is
worked to our favor.
chilly,
Except for the
chilly
chilliness.
January afternoon. And so go ahead. You're talking about our beloved
Yes.
retared
So
Marine.
The best man is related to me, and I'll just say I gave him a job.
You gave him a job
So
to do.
So we had this bowl, and this bowl
So
was
describe
special.
the bowl. What is about this bowl?
The bowl is was it katsumi? What is
It's a kintsugi.
Kintsugi? Close enough. I'm getting sued by a cat. So it's a kintsugi bowl, which if you Google that, well, first turn your safe search on in case you have a typo and it leads to something weird. It probably has something to do with
What's up,
feet.
Matt?
Who
Don't say
knows?
anything
who
about
knows?
that. Oh.
But hey, it's a weird place.
Why do you suggest these
It could
things?
happen. I don't want to mislead our listeners and potentially viewers if this
The
was
one
somehow-
listener that we have. Yes.
Our listener out there, she knows who she is.
She
And
does.
she identifies as a
Our
he,
favorite fan.
Yes. But anyway, so she,
Okay.
how was I misleading
we
her
were
just now?
talking.
Oh yeah, so
Let's get back on
So-
track.
so the
we're
Katsumi
talking
bowl-
about our kintsugi bowl. So
Kintsugi.
explain what a kintsugi bowl is.
kintsugi bowl is it's a Japanese right
Yes.
tradition of mending broken pottery with gold, like basically gluing it back together using gold to make something that was imperfect and broken now whole. Or there's
Yes, and it's supposed to make it, in some senses, more valuable and more beautiful than it was in its original state. So
Right.
it is a celebration, if you were, of the brokenness
yes.
of the pottery.
And collectively, Kiki and I are referred to as the brokenness.
is that our new, the brokenness?
Hello,
That's
brokenness.
our new podcast name.
She's Ness and I'm broken. And together we're brokenness. It's like that Sesame Street.
Yes.
Broken.
Ness.
Brokenness.
Brokenness.
When they say it together.
Yes, when they shove their little words together.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
That.
Which is
That
always
was
kind
a
of
lot of
creepy,
fun.
the silhouettes, because I have issues. So we made this thing together in preparation for our wedding.
So should we even talk about that,
Yeah,
or should we talk about it on another podcast
so
and
we
just
bought
get
a
into
perfect-
the?
Yeah, I'll just say, in short, we bought a perfectly good ceramic bowl.
We did.
Put it in a bag, smashed it, and then spent the next
We
3
made
hours
this-
almost getting unengaged.
Yes,
with all the glue and the
We
and
did
the
this as
gold
a
and the
pre-wedding
dust and
event. Now, I will say
There was
I
lots of gold dust.
had purchased this with all of the bits and pieces, the glue, the gold glue, and all of this.
And the little
special
and
gloves.
the chant you're supposed to incant before.
Yes, the little mantras that you're supposed to read
All the
beforehand and
dancing.
stuff. But I had in my head that we were going to do this the day before we got married in the hotel as an activity in the hotel the day before.
Really bad idea in a hotel.
Looking back on it, I'm
gold,
glad.
glitter, and glue.
No, we did not.
The 3 G's you never do in a
Gold
hotel.
glitter.
unless you're in Vegas, none of that.
Yeah. So we did it in our kitchen, and by it I mean we reassembled the bowl
Kintsugi bowl.
with a fair amount of bickering.
I still see gold dust down there.
I think my kitchen table will never be the same.
Never recover.
After that,
it's a Kintsugi
it's
table
irreparable. And our beautiful monstrosity of a Kintsugi bowl, unfortunately, as we were assembling it, our little gloves kept getting glued into the pottery, and so as you kind of
Got
tried
some
to
texture.
unseat your hands from the piece of pottery, then the whole thing fell
Came
apart
apart
again,
again.
and then you had to re-glue it again, and it looks a little bit like there's a chicken foot just in the middle of the bowl, and it's
there are
not.
some seams. There are seams.
And so I don't know about the rest of you who have like a little Martha Stewart crafty soul to you.
Type A.
I don't have that, but I do really wish for it to be perfect and beautiful. And I saw all of these wonderful pictures, and ours is just such an ugly little baby. I mean, it's our baby, but
it's unique.
It's
unique to us.
Yes, we can just say that. So
but
anyway,
it's also the star. It's the important part of this story.
it is the star in the story.
So this
fast
Marine,
forward.
yes, this Marine was given a task.
Okay, and who gave him this task?
I gave the Marine the task.
Did you?
I did.
Did you know?
The task was to hold on to the bowl because in said bowl were 2 wedding rings.
Were our wedding rings.
They were our wedding rings.
So instead of a unity candle, instead of
Flowers.
a bouquet, any of that, we decided to do this wonderful bowl. And the representation of it, the reason I came to it was because this is our second marriage. We both come to it with just a teeny bit of luggage.
Yeah, we got a
little past
few little
history.
gold glitter filled cracks here and there.
And so
Don't
it was
envision
an
that.
exercise in mindfulness for both of us to kind of remember the beauty of our stories that are coming together and blending into one beautiful story. I need harps again. Yes, thank you. So anyway, yes. So we had that was the purpose of this.
Yes, that was the symbolism was that I think y'all heard all of that, or you.
Yeah.
Sorry, you.
Would you like to
heard all of
would you like to mansplain my
No, I
symbolism?
So anyway, the best man was tasked with holding this bowl.
He was.
But only was tasked with holding the bowl while we were getting ready.
Okay. Now, are you sure that you made that explicitly
I did
clear?
Not. No way I made that clear. And so, so the group that gathered along with our officiant, and she was brilliant, by the way.
We did love her.
She was just magic.
We should put a link to her in our podcast
we can
do it an at mention. She was wonderful.
Yes, she was absolutely fabulous. And we had a great photographer.
We did.
And
we did.
Yeah, but we won't mention her.
We'll mention her too.
I'm kidding. We'll put a link in there if
she was fabulous.
If the editor remembers, we'll find out later. You'll know. You'll know if you're watching this. So they were all gathering. The Marine was holding the bowl. And the plan was, what was the plan, Kiki, with the bowl?
Well, I'm not really sure. You took the bowl.
Because I knew it would be safe.
I'm not sure what your plan was for the bowl.
My plan was that I was going to have him hold the bowl while we did all the prep.
Right.
Because as the ceremony was starting or about to start, the bowl was somehow supposed to end up in your hands in lieu of a bouquet.
My vision was, that I was going to hold the bowl in lieu of a bouquet.
Yes, as she
right?
walked
and
down
then
the
as I walked up to
aisle.
the up to you,
yes, hello.
right? I mean, I was going to say walk down the aisle. There was no aisle.
Yeah,
it was a bunch of scrub brush
and a trail.
And
it wasn't
sand,
going toward me,
right?
but there was a trail
as
over
I
there.
weaved through the scrub brush,
the cacti,
and then I was going to hand over the bowl to
the best man,
said Marine, the best man.
Yep.
Okay, so you had the forethought to give this to him
for safekeeping.
Ahead of time while we're getting ready.
Yes, I knew
that's a whole nother story. We'll expound on.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do one on the dress and the tequila.
Yes. That sounds like a really
so it's something to look forward to. Yes. Our one and only fan.
Yes.
So I'm getting ready. You've given the bowl to the best man.
Yes.
And it's time to.
A request came from the bride.
Yes.
To and I
via the photographer. So it is now time for me to walk down.
So I don't have a memory of this part only because
you were pretty much already in place.
I found out about this. I mean, of course, I witnessed where the bowl was not and where it was, but I didn't realize that there was a.
I would say, my love, that you were a weensy bit scattered on that day.
Yeah,
I would say that
I was both elated, emotional, and a little freaked out, mainly about. I was trying to set up the cameras and I had some issues there.
You were regretting your choices before you even made them.
And then she shows up in that amazing dress, and then my brain just turned it upside down into scrambled eggs.
To mush.
And then I started weeping. I don't think I've ever been in a wedding where the groom cried as much as I cried. And they were definitely tears of joy, but
were they though?
I had to listen to the audio of me going.
He tells me all the time how happy he is, but he says it and he's like, I
sounded like a dog slowly dying. That's what I sounded.
I'll try not to take that personally.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, let's just say me weeping for joy does not make a pretty cowboy. It was pretty nasty.
Hey, you're my tough cowboy.
Yeah.
I love it all the time. So you're in position. Our guests, as they were, are in position. Everybody is waiting.
Yep.
And the photographer comes to me and says, okay, we're ready for you to start your winding walk, towards your
2 miles
betrothed, right? Not even. Yeah. I mean, it was a
while. Yeah.
It took a second because I was trying to delay a little bit and at least not be there inside of 5 seconds, right?
Yes.
Like
my walk.
And so I said to the photographer, okay, great. Could you go over and get the bowl for me, please? The Marine is holding on to it. And my husband's laughing because, and by the way, I'd like to say, particularly for our one listener who knows this Marine quite well, that we have never revealed this story before. This is the first time, and we love to do things in public.
Yes.
So why not just completely
using pseudonyms and at a distance?
100%. So I send the photographer off to collect the bowl so that I can begin my procession. And the photographer comes back empty-handed. And I
can only
was
imagine.
like, So, and she said, so, he said no. And I'm like, what? And she's like, no, he told me in no uncertain terms, he was given the bowl. He's supposed to hold the bowl. And that's what he's going to do.
Isn't that what they say? Hold the bowl,
Hold
Marines.
the bowl, Marine.
And that's what he did.
And that's what he did. So
he did not relinquish an inch
not
of that
in the
bowl.
slightest.
Yeah.
No, he was given a task. He was not going to fail in his endeavor.
Yeah, until relieved of his duty.
Absolutely.
Which he finally was when you got up there.
After the entire ceremony was over.
Yeah. He did not fail that day.
So in the moment, I had to make a snap decision because, of course, everybody's standing there. It's not like I have 50 people, but I have like 5 or 6 people staring at me going,
what you doing?
What's going on? And I'm like, I guess
I don't need the ball.
Anything to carry.
So what do I do with my hands?
So what do I do with my hands? Because I had very explicitly gone to a lot of, my best friend will tell you that she endured a lot of crazy planning with me. And I had bought a wrist corsage. But it was a paper flower. It was made out of pages of a book, and so I had bought this really pretty wrist corsage so that my hands would be free to carry the bowl. So now I'm like, do I take off the wrist corsage and hold this teeny tiny paper flower in my hands?
Blow away if you didn't hold on.
So I didn't. I just walked up, but then I was like, I didn't know what to do with my hands. That's quite evident, honestly.
On the video.
By the video.
Yes.
Which you have pointed out with great delight a couple of times. The awkwardness of me.
I'm trying to distract everybody from your weepy husband.
Well, I'm
or
not,
soon to be at that point.
Not nearly as gorgeous as Kristen Wiig, but I am about as awkward as she can be.
Red flag.
Yes. And
I haven't seen that video,
like maybe kind of robot-esque, like if you can imagine, and just, I'm like, I don't know what to
do with my hands.
She did a recent, like, I don't know if it was like the Emmys or the Oscars. She and Will Ferrell got up on stage just this past year, and there was some song that they said they were going to dance to, and it was like the most awkward thing you could ever. That was me walking down
approaching
to
her
you.
future husband.
I don't know why you said yes after that, because I'm sure you got it.
My eyes were too blurred with tears.
Thank God for that. That's really fine.
I didn't see all this up till the video came out later.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. So yes, that was.
We're very proud of our Marine.
We are. He did his duty.
Very reliable.
Absolutely to the finest.
Yep, follows orders.
Much to my detriment and dismay.
Yeah, let's just say it went. Some plans changed. Yeah,
but here's my thing. He's very loyal.
Yes.
To his brother. He was like,
he did exactly what I asked him to do.
Was given a task. He did exactly as he was told. So I really think that the fault lies with you, dear.
I'm sure it does. I don't think that was ever in dispute. I think from the beginning we all knew who was in trouble here.
I just want it to be clear, in this public forum, that it's really all your fault.
How public is this really, though?
There's not really.
Listener.
There's one listener.
But for our listener, I think we all three agree that
yes,
I picked the wrong person to give.
I don't think you picked the wrong person.
Non-specific but important instructions to.
Yes. Well, we just know going forward that should we ever have a task where you cannot deviate at all from the plan.
Be sure to add a deviation.
Be sure to give it to our beloved
unless
Marine.
the bride asks you for anything, and then that trumps
I
everything.
mean, God forbid. I mean,
there's
I
a
am
chain
the
of
bride.
command. I mean, come on.
The chain of command.
Yeah.
That means he thinks you rank higher than I do.
I'm sure that's the case.
Oh my gosh.
At least at
Wait
that
a minute.
time.
You just said you're sure that that's the case?
No, of course they didn't say that. We don't have a recording of it. No one will ever know.
I'm going to go back and listen to this
Not a
podcast so we
chance.
have at least a second listener.
You'd have to subscribe.
That's not going to happen.
No, well, I'll have to get that edited.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. He
Well,
thinks
no-
that you,
well, now,
he thinks
I
that
would think now he
you
knows
rule the
better.
roost.
Let's just say he knows better now. There's been
Well,
a mutiny.
he'll find out soon
you're,
enough.
You're in charge. Anyway.
We love you.
All right. Thank you for joining us today on the Misadventures of
Kiki.
and Cowboy.
Love
We'll see y'all
y'all.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.